one thing that a lot of you may not know about me is that I love comic books, and I have a pretty extensive comic book collection. And so I just wanted to share with you guys some of my favorite issues and some of my favorite series in the comics. So I'm more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy. I mean, I do have some DC, but I do prefer Marvel. So some of my favorites, like one of them that I really like, a storyline that they did, is this storyline right here, Death of Wolverine. I really like this storyline. Wolverine's one of my favorite characters, and I did get the Return of Wolverine, the variant cover, which that's pretty cool. So I got that one. Another one of my favorite series that I have is I have Secret Wars. So I would love them to do like a movie of this in the future. But this series right here, I have the entire series of the Secret Wars. And there's just so many really cool moments in Secret Wars. Secret Wars is when we get, the first time we get the black suit Spider-Man. Secret Wars is also, we have a moment where the Incredible Hulk lifts up a mountain. Just really cool. There's some really cool stuff, but I really love the Secret Wars. Really love the Secret Wars series. But then they also had Secret Wars 2. So I have that as well. Secret Wars 2, and I have the whole series of that. That's another one. I just love the character of the Beyonder, which I think that would be cool to see the Beyonder in a Marvel movie. But yeah, I really love Secret Wars 1 and 2, so I have both of those. Those are one of my favorites. I also really do like the Infinity Gauntlet series. So most people are familiar with Infinity Gauntlet, thanks to the Marvel movies, but I really like the Infinity Gauntlet story they did. But then they also had the Infinity War, which less people know about, but that's a really good one, and I really like this storyline as well. And then they also had the Infinity Crusade, which that would make for a really cool, the Infinity Crusade would make for a really cool movie or TV show as well. But I really do like those storylines. And that's some of my other favorites that we have. I really like Marvel's The End. So if you've never seen it, we have Marvel's The End was a really cool storyline that if you haven't read it, I highly recommend getting it. It was just a 6-part series. It was pretty good. And then there was also Infinity, which was another 6-part series, which I highly recommend. It was really good. Series is Infinity. Some of my other favorites, I really like X-Men. So I have like a bunch of Uncanny X-Men comics. One of my favorite stories I really like, I mean, of course I like Dark Phoenix, but then I also like the old like Proteus storyline. Just some pretty cool issues in there. I also have some of the old X-Men, including X-Men #1. But yeah, I mean, just some really cool moments in comic history. But probably my favorite storyline I wanted to share with you guys, I mean, we got a bunch of different comics here. I got everything from X-Force to X-Factor, X-Men Unlimited, Excalibur, got the limited Nightcrawler series, got the limited Iceman series. Yeah, there's a lot. This is one of my favorite issues. This is the Wolverine one. This is the issue where Magneto actually rips all the adamantium out of Wolverine's skeleton. Ouch. So, yeah, I just wanted to share some of these with you, but I want to show you kind of one of my favorite storylines ever, and that's the Onslaught saga. If you're not familiar with that, I highly recommend looking into it. But Onslaught is just like such a great storyline, and it has one of my favorite moments in all of comic history. And basically, what happens is Onslaught is this big bad, and so spoiler alert if you don't want to be spoiled, I guess. But one of my favorite just images in all of this, and this doesn't spoil it, I guess, too bad. But Onslaught is this big, huge, massive villain. He's defeating every single superhero that exists. And he's created himself this impenetrable wall. So he's hidden himself behind like an impenetrable force field. And no one can get through this impenetrable force field. So what happens is the Incredible Hulk actually goes to Jean Grey and says, Banner makes me weak. Bruce Banner weakens me. He's always kind of there in the back of my mind, and I can't be like a pure rage monster if Bruce Banner's there. So he asked Jean Grey, Phoenix, to go in and create like a mental block and kind of block out Banner so that the Hulk is 100% pure rage monster. So we get this scene right here. I mean, look at that. That's Hulk in his pure rage, no filters, no Banner, and he just, basically one hits Onslaught and they explode. So, but yeah, super cool. One of my favorite moments. But then there's more to it after that. I mean, and then they do the whole like Heroes Reborn saga, and there's just so many really cool moments that come from the Onslaught storyline. So then you have the Heroes Reborn, Heroes United, Heroes Return, like a bunch of different really cool storylines, and a bunch of really cool things. So if you haven't read it, I really encourage you to read Onslaught. But yeah, those are some of my favorites. But again, I really enjoy reading comics. I feel like it's kind of lost. I love, and I don't like necessarily the books as much, where it's like the bound book that has like a bunch of, I like having the individual comics. I like being able to like go through a comic book store and search and find the ones I'm missing. So yeah, a little bit something about me. I love, old comics. I love Dark Phoenix. But yeah, so if you ever want to get on my good side or be my BFF for life, comic books is the way to my heart. I love, I really do enjoy comics. I have a lot of them, and I plan on continuing to get more. But what are your favorite comic books? What are some of your favorite characters, favorite villains, favorite storylines, favorite plot arcs? I'm curious, what are some of your favorite moments in comics? Let me know in the comments below.